Hey, welcome once again to another day of making comics. You like this? Do you guys like this cheap graphic? I kind of like it. I mean, look at that. Isn't that awesome? Well, I am, of course, well, not of course, but whatever. I'm C.B Smallwood, and you're watching 100 Days of Making Comics, where for 30 minutes a day I write, draw, ink, color, letter. I do something to where I'm either trying to become a comic book artist, build a work ethic to become a comic book artist, and try to actually make a comic book of my own design. Um, been uploading very infrequently these past um, couple of days, week or so, whatever, I done explained that in the previous episode. Just basically life and a little bit of laziness. But that's not to say that I haven't been drawing. I have been doing that. And ugh, yeah, super light. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'll tell you right now that I've made a few changes to this page. Starting with the second panel, I've added a baseball bat in the frame, and in this panel, I don't know if I drew this in the last episode, but I think I've got the body language a lot better. And this is a bat, by the way. I'll flesh this out better, but I just wanted to kind of get the basic gist, And I got a wildcat kind of. I don't know if he's brooding. I don't know what he's doing, but he's just looking. He's what's going on here. This guy's yelling at me. Now he's swinging a bat. And one of the bigger changes is I added the background now. Originally, I was not going to have a background. I was going to let the action of this scene kind of just carry the story. But having did a test color, which I'm no colorist. Let me zoom back out. Let me work with me, camera. I did a test color, right? And in the test color, I got the purple. Now, this is a very light purple. I didn't put the purples on real thick, and it just, something, I don't know. I still don't know, so I made some changes. I'm liking this page a lot better than what I originally did. And let me pull the camera back. So, one initial problem that I noticed was, and I'm pretty sure there's probably some rule about this when you do layouts for your comics and stuff, is here's a head, and here's a head, and they just kind of, your eye is kind of drawn in this direction. I think good word bloom placement will help fix this page layout. I could draw it again. I don't know. But I think by having placed a baseball bat in his hands really helped to distract from that point I just made. Now that you can see it, I'm pretty sure you're like, well, that bat don't really help. Well, you have to trust me on this. With the bat gone, all you see is head, and it just kind of like it sticks out a little bit. But with the bat there, I feel like your eye's kind of drawn more toward what's happening in that panel. And I apologize about the shaky camera business. I got it on my little tripod, and I'm just picking it up and moving it around, that sort of thing. This also, what time I'm thinking about it and talking like the micro cars guy, might be a short episode. I say that every single episode. I know I do. But this might be short out of like extreme necessity, because I've only got like a 30% charge on my phone, which is what I'm using to film this with. And so there you go. My phone has set the deadline, once again. Which is, it's good to do short episodes along with long episodes, because I think some people, may just want to watch a little 5 to 10 minute thing compared to whatever, which I'm already 5 minutes in. Well, so let's speed this up. Anyway, so yeah, I've added a background, and I think that's will probably make the top half of this page a lot more interesting when it's colored, um, because this panel may have more of a solid color in the background. I don't know. I really don't know what the approach would be for that. Um, who knows? But anyway, I'm enjoying where this is going. And again, I am talking in a quick pace because I want to try to make sure that I get out every single idea. Let me zoom in. Every single little idea and thought out before the juice runs out on my phone. Well, as always, I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. No major life issues, which those are always popping up. I hope everybody is prosperous, having a good time, having a good laugh with family and friends, and if you got no family and friends, I hope you've read a good book, watched a good show, watched a good movie, done something to bring a little bit more joy and happiness to your life, Yeah, so there you go. There's another one of these C.B Smallwood wonky trees. And I'm getting to where I really enjoy drawing these trees. A little bit of history for those that are interested. Some of the first forest stuff I've ever drawn was actually Deadpool. And before we get into that, I'm not necessarily the biggest Deadpool fan, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. But that's just me personally. I mean, I like the character, but he's like gotten so big and so huge that it makes me hard to like him. I don't know if that's me trying to be a hipster or what it is, but that's just the way I feel about it. I know growing up, it, even though I liked He-Man and all that other stuff, I related more to Skeletor than I did He-Man, and the whole Masters of Universe toy line and cartoon, that type of thing. But anyway, I was talking about trees and nature. So some of the first nature stuff I did was a one-page story I did for Deadpool. I had never drawn a page of sequentials ever in my life. And the first issue of Deadpool had come out sometime in the millennium, and of the ongoing series. He finally got his ongoing series, and well, here's the thing with that, okay? Well, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I don't know if it's Ed McGuinness. I don't know what his name is, but he's a really good artist. He would later end up drawing Superman at one point, and then he did a really good run on Hulk, or what was known as Red Hulk, with Jeff Loeb. But this guy drew Deadpool and yada yada yada. Well, on this particular run of Deadpool, on the first issue, they had like concept art and a lot of interesting stuff in the back of the comic book. And in the main back of the comic book, they also included like the first 4 or 5 pages of the script, which is really cool because at that time I didn't really have access to comic book scripts. I was just just a regular Appalachian boy, who didn't really have access to comic book stores, comic book conventions, like basically whatever's being sold at the spinner at Walmart or at your local gas station or grocery store. That's Rite Aid. That's what you had to work with, And so it was really cool. So I took this Deadpool script and I started drawing from it, and that was the very, I believe that was the first, I could be wrong, I think that was the first sequentials that I've ever drew, and in it there was a forest scene because he's running and from some terrorist, mercenary, bad guys, type thing, and so yeah, and that was the first bit of forest that I've ever drawn, and it seems like the forest stuff is fairly easy to me. I mean, I don't do it like super well, but I feel like I keep improving and doing a little bit better, as time goes on. Um, I know semi recently, I did a Spider Women story where Marvel's Spider Women, they're in a jungle, and I actually had them fighting a dinosaur and that type of thing, and that was pretty cool. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I could show that to you guys if I can find my portfolio. I probably will here in a second. Just give me a little bit. But that was that turned out pretty good. And then later on, I did some a little bit of inks and colors to Will Avengers take on Swamp Thing, and then a lot of other stuff. So I'm a forest drawing machine. I know I kind of went on a little bit of a, it wasn't a rant. What would it be called? A tangent? Did I go on a tangent? Sorry guys, you missed that whole bit what I was drawing there. But I went on something there. Let's zoom out. Yeah. This is starting to look very forestry. At least I think so anyway. Put a little small tree in here. Get all Bob Ross. Just a little small happy tree in a creepy forest. Let's go down here to the big face. So yeah, I'll show the Spider Women thing here in a little bit. I hope I was coherent with a little bit of my art history backstory. Speaking of Deadpool, I mentioned earlier, I kind of don't like the character. Well, I like the character, but I feel like he's just been so overused, overplayed, overexposed. I don't know what has happened to Marvel, but I feel like they've lost their marbles. Somebody's got a little money hungry, and in the process of being that way, they're actually killing the very characters that's making them money. So they're trying to make big bucks in the short term, and they're actually killing a lot of franchises. Like, for example, Wolverine was like he was the cool dude. He was awesome, and they got to the point where like they were overexposing Wolverine. Like there was Wolverine, Weapon X, Wolverine and the X-Men. Oh gosh, Old Man Logan, and I think I could be wrong. There might be one more book, if not two more books, that were Wolverine centric. I think they even had Wolverine leading X-Force at one point. I could be wrong about that. But the point is, they milked Wolverine to death, and one book was plenty. Two books is fine, but when you start to get into 3, 4, 5, it gets to a point where like you're having to make tough choices of what comics you want to buy, and what stories you want to invest in, and that was during a time where Marvel was no longer interested in continuity, so none of these books really worked together. Oh yeah, also there was Savage Wolverine. That was another book. So they milked poor Wolverine to death. They killed him, and and Deadpool became the new big thing. Now they did the exact same thing with Deadpool. There was like Deadpool, the Deadpool Core, and all these little mini-series, like multiple mini-series of Deadpool. And gosh, I don't know what all else, but that they milked Deadpool a lot more than they did poor Wolverine. And that got out of hand in a hurry. And I know there's a lot of good Deadpool books that are probably out there, a lot of good Wolverine books and all this other stuff, and there was probably some fans that really dug it and got something out of it. But I think them doing all that they did with these characters, they actually hurt those characters in the long run, and also hurt their company in the long run to some degree. That's just my opinion. And anyway, really don't like how this hair is turning out, but we'll roll with it. It is what it is. I think I lied again. I guess this isn't going to be a short episode. This is like 16 minutes into this turd. I lied. I didn't mean to lie to you guys. I really didn't. But, this is a good thing because, I'm sitting here, I'm drawing, I'm talking, I'm doing my thing. Hopefully I'm not offending nobody. If I am, I apologize. I'm just trying to do my thing, make it semi-entertaining. Just doing that thing with the eraser actually made the hair look a lot better. That's cool. I like that. Nice save, Brian. You can say you did that on purpose. Oh, and for those that don't know, Brian is actually the name that I go by. That's that's the thing. If you watch the first episode or second or third episode, I explain that. I go by CB, which I don't care what people call me for the most part, as long as they ain't too derogatory with it. But I go by CB because there's like 100 Brian Smallwoods on this planet. And it's like, I'm trying to make a name for myself, so... And since these other Brian Smallwoods have been around for a lot longer than I have, where they've been born in the 70s and 60s and stuff like that, it's like, you know what, guys? I'll let yous roll with that name. For now. So, I've assumed the identity of C.B. Smallwood. And it was partly inspired by H.P. Lovecraft. I like how he shortened his name, and maybe that one woman. I apologize. Who writes those Harry Potter things? Is it Kate? Is it K.K. Downing or something like that? I apologize, Harry Potter fans. Deadpool fans, everybody else that I'm offending. I don't know. Cut me some slack. A little bit. But yeah, I guess sort of inspiration from that, so that is why I go by CB. So, now, sometimes I'll refer to myself as Brian in these videos. Because, that is my Clark Kent, I guess. But in these videos, I'm Superman. Does that make sense? Is that coherent? Probably not. Well, whatever. But anyway, I was talking about... what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, how Marvel's like killing their franchises and also like killing their company. Really, their publishing company. I mean, as their movies and stuff are doing great. It's just the publishing end. And I was, golly, how can you mess that up? I mean, like it's simple formula. And like there's the artists that are out there now. It's like these guys are like 100 times way better than I am. And there's no reason why they just can't like do really basic stories with these artists and let them run with it. And wow, the stuff that they could churn out and come up with, and instead it's just, I don't know, like a runaway train. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do you agree with that? You disagree? But as far as Deadpool, it's hard for me to get into Deadpool. I do like the character. I just feel like he's just way overexposed, and it makes it hard for me to get into him when it's like that. And also, I kind of resent Deadpool a little bit. Is that a bad thing to say? It's like, CB, buddy, why do you resent Deadpool? Well, Deadpool is taking on Spider-Man's persona. In the original, when he originally started that, way back in the Rob Liefeld days, he was more just, kind of a straight-up assassin guy. But other writers took him and fleshed him out and added a lot more depth to him. And, so then he became the Merc with a mouth, which I think is really cool. That's cool. But it's like, it seems like there's more love and attention going into Deadpool. And poor old Spider-Man, who made Marvel all that money and success, he's just kind of like being treated as a second-rate character. Am I wrong in saying that? I don't know. Lots of opinions here today. Been holding back, folks, but no more. It's all out in the open. But I just want to mention some interesting topics. I think it makes the videos a lot better. Oh boy, let's see what we got here. All right, I kind of like where this is going. I will flesh these faces out. They won't look like statues, like weird clay face men for long. I really like the energy of this. This is going pretty cool. Yeah, that's so, but whatever. Not every panel can be a winner. I have to confess, at one point he was looking like one way, but now he kind of looks like Conan. Well, that's a cool thing, right? There you go. Alright, I tell you what, guys. If this phone doesn't die on me, I'm going to pause this, and I promised that I would show the Spider-Women thing that I drew with the T-Rex. So, just hang on a minute. Well, you won't really notice because I hit the pause button, but just give me a second. Okay, guys. Oh, crap. Alright, so this should take 5 minutes, so this is going to be a 30-minute long video, but whatever. Lubba-dub-dub! No, wubba-lubba-dub-dub! It's just how it is. So, let me tell you the backstory, and then we'll go from there. You know what I should have done? I should have just saved this for a later episode, but I really don't care. I'm just kind of like spitballing it, freeballing it, But anyway, this portfolio, look at it. Look at this bad boy. It looks like it's been at the bottom of the ocean where the Titanic's at, This has come loose and it's in good shape. Well, back in 2008, me and my friend Will Avenger. Let's see here. Whew, well, sorry guys. The phone actually quit recording there because I got a phone call, but whatever. So, this portfolio has a little bit of a backstory to it. So in 2008, me and my friend Will Avenger went to our very first comic book convention, and to prepare for it, like what I did is I was a really big fan of Wizard World magazine, and they was going to have a Wizard World in Chicago, and so I sent off to have I had like a couple hundred of these cards. Only had to pay like $3 to $6 for them, you know. And I don't know if you really can tell with this bright light, but there's kind of like a shucks. There's like a kind of like an American flag. It's actually a lot brighter in the background. And I got my name, what I do, and what I try to do, and my address, and then I had my email on the bottom of it. And I taped this to the front of the folder because I was afraid that, you know, what if I lost this luxurious masterpiece and artwork in Chicago, you know, and here I live in Appalachia, you know, probably wouldn't see that again, you know. Not that I think anybody would keep my artwork. It'd probably end up in a dumpster. But anyway, let's go ahead and flip through it. I kind of give you a little bit of my... This is a really old portfolio, by the way. So I went to Chicago and I tried to draw up a lot of pieces beforehand. And this is our first convention ever. And got a chance to meet some of these people that... I've read about in Wiz World magazine, and I've seen their artwork and my favorite comics and all this good stuff. And I came prepared. Rob Liefeld was there, Ert Larson, David Finch, Mark Silvestri. I think Tom McFarlane was there too, but I didn't get to see him. And several other people. This, by the way, I did not draw this. This is Jim Steranko. I guess I'm pronouncing his name right. I just want to take his artwork and just slide it in my portfolio. That way, since it's autographed, that I can keep it for safekeeping and know that it's not going to get damaged. All right, so here's another page. I was trying to do something interesting with Thing there. So me and Will Avenger, we go to Wizard World, and we went to we stayed at the Hilton, and we got shuttle bus to the convention. And then one of the first people that we met was Peter David, and I wanted to show Peter David my portfolio, and he's largely known as the writer of the Incredible Hulk. And that didn't go over well at all because he was trying to explain to me that he's a writer and it wouldn't do no good for me to give me any critiques or anything like that. But the thing is, I had a lot of Hulk pieces in my portfolio, and I just wanted to see one of my favorite writers who wrote the Hulk just look at my Hulk art, and look at that hand. That hand's so cool, isn't it? Yeah. And yet I struggle drawing a hand in my own comic. Well, still that. God, that light is bright. So, anyway. So that didn't go over well. Then my next person I saw was Rob Liefeld, and I actually had a couple of sketches that they look pretty good of young blood. And so me and Will Avenger stood in line and went to go show Rob Liefeld my stuff. And here's the Spider Women thing that I did. Here's page 2. And some of this artwork I'm showing you is kind of sporadic. It's not necessarily 2008 artwork. Some of it's a little bit more recent, sort of. And you notice the trees and stuff's kind of different here because I try to do more of a jungly, jungle-like look. Something that you'd be more likely to find in the jungle as opposed to Appalachia, Kentucky, Virginia, Tennessee, that type of thing. So go see Rob Liefeld and stand in line for a while, and it takes him a little bit to do his sketches, and by the time he gets done, right? I was like, hey, can you look at my portfolio? And he doesn't. I don't even think he looks up. I can't remember. It's been so long. But he's like, oh, you should have told me something beforehand, and I would have told you no, man. And he's giving me all these different reasons why he's trying to tell me no, and he was being nice about it, but I was getting flustered because it's my first convention, and I was really wanting to show my artwork, and I didn't care if people told me I sucked. I just wanted somebody to tell me something, and they weren't even going to give me the time of day to look at my portfolio, and so it kind of hurt a little bit. So these are the Hulk pieces that I took with me to the convention to show people. Really love the Hulk. And well, beloved Dub. One of my next, Eric Larson, took the time to look at my stuff. His biggest comment to me was that my robot looked too cartoony. Which I thought it was kind of funny because the robots I draw was kind of inspired by him a little bit, and so I was kind of going for a somewhat cartoony look. But he thought the robot needed to look more sinister. Which I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I was going for a cartoony thing. But, I really like the birds. I put the birds in there to try to give you a scope of how big this thing actually was, but I don't know if it came across that way. Anyway, also showed this to, what is his name? G.O. Angel Mendina, and he looked at it, and I was telling him, how my anatomy's wonky and stuff, and he gave me some really good encouragement. He's like, man, look at that. That's just bad A. He actually, said the word, and I mean, it's killer. And, his thing was like, if your anatomy's not great now, don't worry about it, because it'll come with time. It's all about just drawing. So, this stuff here is just really old. It's ancient. Sorry that you can't really see some of it really well. It's like I got limited space on my little desk. Here was the main course of what I wanted to show you. This is the double splash page. Well, if I can ever show it to you. Gee-oh. I got so many cords and crap in the way. So, To wrap up my convention experience, man, this is not a short video. To wrap up my convention experience, I went to go show my stuff to Mark Silvestri. I even left some samples, some photocopy samples with him, and he wouldn't give me the time of day either. He just wanted to go to his hotel room and kind of unwind. Which at the time I didn't know, I didn't really connect that Michael Turner had died that day, and that may have had something to do with it. I don't know. Here's my inks over my pencils. I actually didn't finish the inking because I got kind of concerned with how to shade the scales and stuff like that, and make it really pop and look cool. So I kind of stopped that project. But I'm happy with the direction it was going anyway. So here's another Fantastic Four page that never got drawn. Anyway, folks, jabam. I'm going to wrap this up. This video is ridiculously long. It's like I have a lot to say and not enough time to say it in. I just want to say thank you for everybody that takes the time to watch my videos, and for liking and upvoting and subscribing and following and commenting and all that good stuff. And listen, if you're somebody that watches my channel and you don't even do any of that stuff, all you do is just watch, I appreciate you too, because you could be watching anybody else. You could go outside and throw a frisbee or I don't know, watch the news or do something. There's like a billion different things you could do, but you choose to watch this video or any of the other videos I got. And I just want to say thank you to people that just even watch my stuff, and for the people that go the extra mile and upvote, like, subscribe, and follow. I really appreciate you guys and gals too. And I don't want you ever to think that I take it for granted, because I don't know, you really motivate me to keep doing more. It's really been helpful for me to do this challenge, to do these things, because I'm really passionate about wanting to be a comic book artist. I've been wanting to do it since 3rd grade, which is sometime maybe in the 80s, early 90s. And here I am, and it's like 2017 as of this video, and still trying to do it. I've had failures, successes, more failures than success, and now I'm starting to really build momentum. And I just want to say thank you to you guys, and that's pretty much it. And I think this has been an action-packed video, crammed full of lots of goodies and of different things. So anyway, if you want to support my channel and you're a new viewer, please follow or subscribe so you can keep up to date with new videos that I come out with. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If there's any other videos that you've watched of mine that you like, hit the thumbs up or the upvote button on those, so it helps them more likely to get seen. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down in the comment section down below. Please give me anywhere from like 3 days to about a week, and I will write back. I'm just a lazy turd when it comes to writing back. But anyway, you like how I put that in there real creepy? You've been watching 100 Days of Making Comics, and this is C.B Smallwood, and I will catch you in the next video.